What is going on, everybody? Man, Micah's back with another video, back here to talk about what's on my iPad Pro. Yes, the M2 model. I have 1 terabyte, meaning I have 16 gigs of RAM on this bad boy here. So I thought I would bring you guys a quick look into how I have my iPad set up. You've seen a little bit of it when I showcased the iPad OS 17 beta running on this, so I thought I'd come back here and show you guys what exactly is going on my iPad, how I have it currently set up in terms of productivity, in terms of it relatively giving a nice laptop-like finish and look to it, both in terms of the wallpaper and how I have my home pages set up, and what apps I'm looking forward to use on the iPad Pro. So before we get into everything, if you guys haven't already, make sure you like the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so that way you know it's my videos. So I will sit back, check, see what's cracking. And let me know down in the comment section below, do you give a lot of thought into your iPad setup? And if not, let me know why as well. And if you guys have any key pointers or key things I could potentially look out for in terms of tweaking and improving my iPad setup, let me know down in the comment section about that as well. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Let me go ahead and start here. I'm starting the landscape. We'll see what happens. Bam! We are recording. Come on out of there. Personal's off. Okay, I guess. Now, this is what I like to call like the main hub on my iPad. But before we get into it, we're gonna swipe down and show you guys what's going on the lock screen here. I don't care about that. Turn off notifications, yes please. Okay, so Spotlight Search of course can be viewed from the lock screen as well. I can wish them away just like that to get a clean look at my lock screen. This is one of the wallpapers that was dropping, you know, around last year when the iPad or iPhone 14 Pro came out, and or when the iPad Pro was actually refreshed. But this is the wallpaper I'm using. I'm using the photo shuffle, which means whenever I click on it, it will change. If I click on it again, it will change. If I click on it again, a lot of blue wallpapers look really good. This is like my favorite one right here, but this is a nice one too. But I'm trying to find something that's really nice that kind of gives the vibe I'm looking for this. Let's see, let's go with this one. So this is pretty nice because it showcases being able to hide the clock with the depth effect, something I really like. And I like the fact that the widgets on the iPad Pro do not prohibit or stop the depth effect from working. And as you guys can see there on the left, I have my weather widget and my battery widget to let me know what's going on with my other Apple devices, really just the AirPods case and probably my Apple Watch once I get one. But that's what you see right there, and I keep the date on top of the clock. Now, if I had this in portrait mode, the widgets would actually align underneath the clock like they do on the iPhone. So that's the lock screen. Nothing else to really show you there. If we swipe up, as I said, this is kind of like the main hub, but before I show you that, let's swipe on over, and as you guys can see, it's blank. Because this is what I mean by kind of emulating or giving it a clean aesthetic to feel very laptopish upon coming into the iPad after unlocking. This is what I like, kind of something nice and clean, just like this. Maybe I could set some widgets up at the top, but like what they added with Mac OS or whatever, with Sonoma, how you can add widgets. It would have been cool if they would have allowed you to freely place widgets in that way on the iPad Pro, but as of right now they don't. And so I just have a nice clean look with the majority of apps that I'm going to use on a regular basis in my taskbar at the bottom. Before we get into those, let's swipe to the left, and I have relatively similar setup like my iPhone in terms of what's going on this left pane here. I have a Photos app and a big battery app right there, or battery widget along with the photo widget. I have my calendar right there. I have weather right there. And of course I use top stories to let me know what's going on in the world. And then I also have my screen time here, which I don't necessarily need, but I don't mind using it. Keep in mind, I have not charged this phone in like 2 days. That's at 40%. Now, part of that is I haven't really had to use it that much, and I haven't really went into using a couple apps I'm looking forward to use yet. We'll get into that here very shortly. But as I said, this is a nice clean look approaching the iPad. Swiping over to the main hub is where you get all the fun stuff. So up at the top left, this is MD clock that I'm using, much like I'm using on the iPhone 14 Pro. And swiping through there, I also have the same similar options along with something much more basic like the digital clock. But I like this clock. I wish it had a darker version of this clock because I would use it. But this clock kind of fits in right now, and it is on a system-based, mode, which means once I go dark mode on here, it's gonna go dark mode on here. The widgets will go dark mode as well. I also am using MD Vinyl, the same app I showed you on my iPhone 14 Pro, but the bigger version gives you an even better look into how or exactly this widget works. And if I hit play, it's one of my favorite songs right here, you know what I'm saying? If I hit play, as you guys can see, the little record hand moves on over and the record starts spinning, and it showcases the album art Tarzan from Phil Collins, Stranger Like Me. Nope, not the same song. Or is it? Yeah, it is. I wanna know, can you show me? All right, moving on. Top right, weather widget. I got the medium size one basically. I could potentially reroute these to go smaller with the vinyl and with the clock. I'm debating on whether or not I should to get a larger weather app. I may not, because I kind of like how this looks. If I swipe down, I have my reminders, which essentially gives me video ideas. I'm not going to give them all away right here, but I have a lot lined up for the new products that I've been playing around with. The home hub has been acting a little weird and wonky in terms of working. I don't know why it won't. I'm trying to get this to work. I have a home, so I don't know why it's not displaying any of my things, but it is what it is right now. I do notice that it works for others, so it's interesting. I have a smaller battery widget that I can just look at a glance right here and tell it's my tablet in the top left, that's my AirPods Pro on the top right, and then the actual buds themselves on the bottom left. Interesting that they don't show you the phone in here. I guess they leave it open for another accessory like the AirPods Max or an Apple Watch of sorts. And then I have my YouTube widget right here. What I like is because it's interactive, much like my MD Vinyl and pretty much anything I have on here. If I want to watch something or see what's going on, I hit that specific one, I hit subscriptions, and all my subscriptions pop up there. So I like having that available. And swiping to the right, I have a semi-larger home hub that I don't need here right now. I just happen to have it here, so I don't really pay no mind to it. As a matter of fact, I can actually remove this widget and it's gone. Entertainment, my games and my streaming apps such as Netflix, Hulu, Max, Disney Plus, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, Vudu, Audible, Zoom, Every Dollar, Budget, News, smaller version, TikTok, PS App, Champions, a Marvel Contest of Champions, Marvel Snap, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Now I got Amazon, Google Photos, Google Drive, Apple Health, Acrobat, Feedback, Widgie, MD Vinyl, MD Clock, Sonic Boom, GarageBand, and Epidemic Sound, which I use, of course, as my backtracks for videos like these. And they download, and with the Folders app, you can actually create a whole folder for them. As I did, I got sound effects and my backtracks, or B tracks, if you will. So that way I can keep things organized. So when I finally start editing on this, because I have not started editing yet on this, that's one of the conundrums I'm in right now. Once I do, I kind of have my basic database set up for that kind of activity. And then swiping, of course, the app library, and I love how it pops up from the bottom right corner of the taskbar, and then zooms back to the corner when swiping away. Now, this is where the fun begins, right? I like seeing and using these apps on the iPad, of course, more than the iPhone 14 Pro because of the larger canvas that I have. And with that being said, I have my Notes app, and I use this pretty well. And I use it to record information and researching, keeping all my notes jot down and organized, so that way I can have better thoughts when coming into videos, or use them while I'm doing my videos as like a form of a script, if you were. I also like swiping from left to right, which allows you to take screenshots, but I don't need it, so let's delete it. And then, of course, from the bottom right corner, if I swipe inwards, then I have quick notes that I can just leave a note for myself real quick, and then I share this to reminders, so that way I will be reminded to record my videos just in case you get a little tired, you're really trying to do it, you forget you're on a mission, and then that reminder pops in, kicks you into overdrive to go get work done. Then I hit done, and it's gone. Now, the rest of the apps, Safari looks clean on here. I like Safari. I like being able to split view on here, slide over apps on here, and Stage Manager. I love Stage Manager a lot. It's just I have not had that much time to really dive into my iPad Pro like that. Initially I was, just to try to really kind of use it and work. As of right now, I just kind of haven't used it, but I love Stage Manager. I really do. And with iOS 17, or iPad OS 17 rather, Stage Manager is even more functional because of the resizing of windows, giving it that much more of a laptop feel or desktop feel. Emails on here, a little easier in my opinion to delete or organize, deal with, interact with emails. So I got the email app right there. As I showed you guys, the folder or files app is right there. Lightroom, DaVinci Resolve is an app I have not quite gotten into yet. Been doing a lot of research, studying, and preparing, because it's going to be relatively different for sure. There's a learning curve in terms of learning how to properly color footage, and that's something I'm definitely looking forward to, because I already know there's one specific project that I'm going to use DaVinci for while I stick to LumaFusion, which I don't have downloaded yet. But LumaFusion will be like my most used editor, but when it comes to more serious things, I'm going to use DaVinci. Now, one could argue that maybe I should stay in DaVinci period and just let that be the editor. There's definitely a case to be made there, but iOS and LumaFusion is much different than Android and LumaFusion, and so I will get to find out how fully optimized of an editing experience LumaFusion will be over DaVinci Resolve. But I have DaVinci Resolve right there, the App Store, JW Library, YouTube Studio, Photos, FaceTime, iMessage, and my settings, and of course the last few apps that you've opened there on the right side. Now, it would be nice if you could actually get rid of that. Maybe you can. I haven't really looked into how to or not to do that, but this is how my iPad is set up in this way. And if I swipe down over here, that's not what I wanted. I swipe down. My control center is simple. Connectivity, media player, auto rotate, caster, focus modes, brightness and volume, home, which is automatically added once you set up a home in the home app. Right now it's on, basically do not disturb, but I can turn that back on. Stage Manager, quick note, camera, backlit key, brightness control for the Magic Keyboard and potentially the other smart keyboard folio. The recorder that's currently going on right now, timer, stopwatch, Shazam, and the flashlight. And that is what's going on my iPad Pro. So let me know down in the comment section below how your iPad is set up if you're using it. Or again, as was mentioned before, some things, some apps to look out for in terms of productivity and whatnot. Let me know down in the comment section below. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure you like the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that way you get my videos. So that way you back track, see what's cracking. Join Micah, sign out to the next video. Wait for